I want you to take a second and imagine living in a beautiful Las Vegas community where the kids can bike to the park, you're minutes away from mountain trails, and you've paid half of what somebody in California or Hawaii would pay for a house. Sounds amazing, doesn't it? Well, in this video, we're going to dive into Summerlin, the crown jewel of Las Vegas. It's a master plan community, and we'll explore the pros and cons of living in Summerlin, from affordable home prices compared to California and places like Hawaii and Seattle, places like that, to the summer heat waves. So you can decide if this community is the perfect place for your family. So stick around and hear about the hot new neighborhoods in 2025 and insider info on the schools, parks, and more. Hi there, I'm Eric Hudson, your friendly local Las Vegas real estate agent and your Summerlin expert. I've helped dozens of families relocate and PCS from around the country and Oconus, and including those from California and Hawaii, of course, Las Vegas. So I know the questions you have, and today I'll give you an honest and family-focused tour of what life is like in Summerlin and what it's really like. Consider me your boots on the ground, so to speak, your guide, here to share the local knowledge, real data, and a few personal insights. And by the end, you'll understand what the lifestyle, housing, and the community vibe is like in Summerlin. And of course, if you're thinking about making that move, I'm here to help every step of the way. My information is below in the pinned comments and in the info tab, of course. Call, text, email, better yet, get on my calendar. And my team and I are more than ready to help you make that smooth move to Las Vegas. So let's jump on in. If you haven't heard of it before, Summerlin is an award-winning master plan community. It's on the west side of Las Vegas. It's nestled up against the breathtaking Red Rock Canyon, and it spans over 22,500 acres, and it's home to tens of thousands of residents. As a matter of fact, it's over 100,000 residents, even closer to about 130,000 residents. Unlike the rest of the busy Las Vegas Strip, which is only 12 miles away, Summerlin feels like its own little oasis. It's suburban, it's scenic, and family-oriented. You'll find tree-lined streets, beautiful parks and neighborhoods, and it's designed for community living. It's the kind of place you get to know your neighbors and see kids playing outside, all with a gorgeous mountain backdrop. I'm sure you've seen some of the other videos I've put out with the Summerlin neighborhoods. One of Summerlin's community pools, the Trails Pool, offers residents a place to cool off and play during the hot summer months. Multiple community centers and pools are available exclusively to Summerlin residents, along with, get this, over 250 parks, ranging from playgrounds to sports fields. This master plan design means wherever you live in Summerlin, you're likely walking distance or a short bike ride from a park or a trail. Community hosts events year-round, from outdoor summer movie nights to farmers markets, fostering a tight-knit, small-town feel, even though you're in the Las Vegas area. So it's not all bright lights in big cities, folks. Lifestyle-wise, Summerlin offers a bit of everything. If you love the outdoors, you're in luck. There are over 150 miles of trails. Over 150 miles of trails and numerous parks woven throughout this master plan community. You have Red Rock Canyon. It's practically in your backyard. It's there for your hiking, your biking, your weekend picnics. You prefer shopping or dining? Downtown Summerlin. Downtown Summerlin, it's right there in the name. A vibrant open-air mall has you covered with shops, restaurants, and even a pro baseball park and hockey arena. Families appreciate the top-rated schools. More on that coming up soon in this video. An overall feel of safety and cleanliness. In short, Summerlin's lifestyle is all about family-friendly fun outdoor recreation and convenience, wrapped in a beautiful setting. Now let's talk about the pros. The big reasons so many families are moving from places like California and elsewhere around the country, and they want to move, of course, to Summerlin. Spoiler, there are a lot of reasons. Here are some of the top advantages of calling Summerlin home here in the Las Vegas area. So, even though it's more expensive, you do get more house for your money compared to some place like California. That's one of the biggest draws. It's the housing value. Your dollar simply stretches further out here. The median house price right now in Las Vegas for a single family home is about $480,000. Think about that in Los Angeles. From what I understand, it's about $850,000. And just talking to my friends who live in LA, that's for a smaller house. Summerlin, being a premier community, it's a bit higher than the rest of the Las Vegas Valley. So we're not talking 480. We're talking about, 600,000, 670,000 for the median for a single family house. That's as we kind of like enter the 2025 era here. But that's still a bargain compared to California, where you're getting more house and better community than many of the California cities. So in Summerlin, you can get a modern, spacious home, often with a yard and possibly a 2 or 3 car garage. But I didn't say possibly, I mean, you're going to get a 2 or 3 car garage. For the price, that would fetch you a much smaller and older home in California. Plus, in Nevada, I don't know if you knew this, there are no state income taxes. That's a huge savings for those of you moving from high tax places like California. I know the taxes aren't that bad in Hawaii, but yeah, you're going to save a lot of money when you move here. So what about your family-friendly and safe environment? Summerlin consistently ranks as one of the safest in Las Vegas. Now, I can't really say what's safe, that's up to you, but many people feel that way. For instance, Summerlin South violent crime rate is significantly below the U.S. average. Right now, the index for Summerlin is 15.9 versus the national average of 22.7. It's the kind of place where kids walk to school or to the park and neighbors look out for each other. Many neighborhoods are gated or have security patrols and well-kept streets and parks. Now you get that strong sense of community. Families also love all of the community events they have out there and the amenities. Seasonal festivals, holiday celebrations, and clubs. It makes it so easy to meet others. Overall, Summerlin offers a welcoming, tight-knit community. It's that vibe that things can be a refreshing change if you're coming here from, more hectic parts of the country. Things are a little more chill out in Summerlin. What about the parks and trails and the outdoor lifestyle? If your family enjoys the outdoors, you start to feel a little bit spoiled here. Summerlin devotes nearly 1/3 of its land to green space and recreation, boasting more than, remember we talked about it, 250 parks and numerous recreational facilities, from little neighborhood pocket parks to big sports complexes. Popular spots include the Paseos Park. It has soccer fields and splash pads. Then there's Fox Hills Park. It's an adventure-themed playground that kids adore. There's also community pools like the Trails, Willows, and Vista pools, where residents can swim and play in the summer. So if you don't have that house with the pool, you got someplace to go. And we have to mention Red Rock Canyon. If we don't mention it enough, it's right next door. Again, it's a natural playground for hiking, climbing, biking, or just that scenic drive. Now, again, I haven't mentioned this before. If you're in the military, it's free. Just put that one out there. On the weekends, you'll see families taking advantage of the trails, and many neighborhoods even organize group hikes, outdoor yoga, and master plan intentionally linked many of the neighborhoods within walking and biking trails so you can stay active as part of the Summerlin lifestyle. So if you want that kind of walkability that you can get in some parts of the country, Summerlin is more walkable than other parts of Las Vegas. What about the shopaholic, the foodie, and just the person who likes entertainment in your family? You know what? You won't miss anything from urban conveniences out here in Summerlin. Downtown Summerlin is a huge shopping and entertainment district within the community, featuring retail favorites, a weekly farmers market, movie theater, and tons of dining options from casual, upscale, featuring groceries or everyday errands. You need groceries? Need to run everyday errands? It's all right there. Summerlin has everything you need. It's got a Costco, it's got the Trader Joe's, of course it's got Target, it's got your Whole Foods. Come on, of course it's got Whole Foods. You name it. For dining, there's a mix of chain restaurants and beloved local eateries. Whether you're grabbing brunch at some little trendy local cafe or enjoy a little date night or at a little upscale steakhouse, you'll find it all nearby in Summerlin. That's why so many people want to be there. Entertainment, hey, that's close at hand. You got the Las Vegas ballpark, home of our minor league baseball team, the Aviators, and the City National Arena. It's the practice facility of the award-winning, Stanley Trophy-winning Golden Knights. And both of them are in Summerlin. Matter of fact, next to each other. I was actually there, kind of a sad thing, but don't want to talk about it right now. Offering games, events, and public skating. And if you want that night out on the strip, and of course pay all that money, it's only 10 to 15 minutes drive away. Summerlin gives you a comfortable suburban life with quick access to the big city when you need to get out there. So of course, you know, we got those families, they're wondering, what about those schools? How are they? So for the families with kids, Summerlin is a huge pro. Summerlin is known for having some of the best schools in Nevada. So there are 14 public schools and 11 private schools right there in the community. Many of the schools here in Summerlin outperform other districts. In fact, multiple Summerlin schools have 8 out of 10 or higher on greatschools.org and receive an A grade or higher on niche.com. For example, Palo Verde High School, a Summerlin public high school, scores 8 out of 10 on greatschools.org and has earned awards for college readiness. At the elementary level, John W. Bonner Elementary School, hey, that's another gem, boasts A minus, but it's still an A, overall grade on niche.com, reflecting strong academics and student parent satisfaction. They're also highly regarded charter and magnet schools like West Career and Technical Academy, which is ranked among the top high schools in the state. If you prefer private education, Summerlin offers that too. There's Faith Lutheran Academy, there's Alexander Dawson School, and there's so many others. Bottom line, families moving to Summerlin just for the schools. Even though the Nevada state education rankings aren't great, because I don't live in Summerlin, I live in the Northwest, but I chose my neighborhood purely based on the schools. And a lot of people choose Summerlin based on the schools. Summerlin is a clear exception. Your kids can get an excellent education in Summerlin. So, what's another thing you want to think about? Strong home values and the amenities. Summerlin has a track record of holding property values, and that's due to the quality of the community. It's a luxury suburban area, And while that means higher home prices, we'll talk about that. It also means investment potential. The real estate market in Summerlin has been robust and growing. Even in 2024, when some markets slowed, Summerlin remained one of the nation's top-selling master plan communities. Buying a home here has been a pretty safe bet. Historically, demand is steady from retirees, families, and even locals looking to upgrade from other parts of the Las Vegas area. Additionally, the HOA maintained neighborhoods and the design standards help homes hold their value over time. Residents get to enjoy luxurious amenities like golf courses. There are several, including the famed TPC Summerlin, community centers, beautifully maintained streetscapes. All these perks contribute to an exceptional quality of life. As one local puts it, if you want a high quality, calm yet upscale lifestyle in a safe neighborhood close to Las Vegas, Summerlin is worth it. There are some pretty compelling pros. Of course, as wonderful as Summerlin is, no place is perfect. It's time to flip that coin and talk about a few potential downsides of living here. So you have, that full picture. So what are the cons of living in Summerlin? Every community has its challenges, and Summerlin is no exception. As a real estate agent, local resident, I believe in being as upfront as possible about some of the not so great aspects. So you don't have any surprises. Here are some of the main cons before you think about even moving to Summerlin. Well, you do have higher costs for housing by Vegas standards. While Summerlin, it's cheaper to somebody coming from California, Hawaii, and even many parts of Phoenix, which is our sister city. It's more expensive than the rest of the Las Vegas area. You're paying a premium for a master plan environment and amenities and the cachet of living in Summerlin. Home prices in Summerlin tend to be higher than average, anywhere from 10 to 20%. For example, let's say a small house may cost $400,000 someplace else in a non-master plan community. I mean, just a little bitty small house. That same equivalent house in Summerlin is probably going to cost you $500,000. It's the same house. Also, new construction homes, which often come with a steep lot premium and upgrade costs compared to the rest of the Las Vegas Valley. A brand new Summerlin home may have a smaller yard and a higher price per square foot than older homes someplace else. Additionally, newcomers should budget for the hidden costs that come with ownership here in Summerlin. These include things like the Special Improvement District fees. This is a semi-annual assessment in some of the newer parts of Summerlin that help pay for the infrastructure. So the streets within Summerlin, they were paid for by the community, not the county. So you got to pay for those. And people don't understand, you may have an assessment of $15,000 for your house, which you've got to pay off over time. So that's something that you may have to budget for. Be sure to ask your realtor if there is a SID on that house. Additionally, newcomers should budget for hidden costs that come with home ownership in Summerlin. These include things like the Special Improvement District fees, also known as SIDs. You're going to hear that come up quite a bit when you're shopping for a home here in Las Vegas, especially in the master plan communities. This is a semi-annual assessment because all of the infrastructure, the sewers, the streets, everything else inside that community are actually not paid for by the city. It's paid for by the developer, and they put that on you, the homeowner. So that's one of the things you're going to have to budget for. So just make sure you be prepared for that. So it's probably going to be, a few $100s every 6 months. Overall, you need to be prepared for higher utility bills, especially in the summer. We'll talk about that a little bit more later on. That's going to be for everyone. From groceries to services, can be a tad bit higher in Summerlin due to the area's affluence. It's not going to be anything like California prices, but compared to some place like, say, North Las Vegas or the older parts of Henderson, you will notice a bump because in Summerlin, it's a bit bougie. Bougie? Bougie. On purpose. And you know what? You do pay for what you get because people want to be in the bougie areas. So let's talk about HOA and rules. Summerlin, it's all governed by a master HOA, homeowners association. So if you go I don't want to live under an HOA, exit left. Summerlin is a master plan community, so it's HOA. You can just stop it now. Don't even think about it. You're done. It's over. HOA, okay? Nearly every neighborhood is going to have an HOA as well. So it's a HOA within an HOA and possibly another HOA within that. I don't know if I want to get that deep. It gets deep. So first of all, you're always going to have the Summerlin Master HOA fee, which is like around 50, 60 bucks. It's called the Summerlin Community Association fee. And then you may have an individual neighborhood association that can run from $60 to $90 a month on average. And in return for all that, you're getting well-kept community areas, security. You get all those great events, but also you get rules. Lots of rules. HOAs can be strict, especially regulations on everything from house paint colors to how long the garage doors can be left open, you know, that grass, you know, how they're measuring that. For example, many Summerlin communities prohibit street parking overnight. If you leave your car out, there's a good chance it could get towed by the HOA patrols, according to what neighborhood you live in. You might get notices for minor lawn infractions or trash bin left out. Especially if you leave it out, you know, like past, trash pickup time by a few hours. While these rules protect property values and keep the neighborhood looking good, they can feel restrictive if you are more of a laid-back kind of person. So if you just came off the beach in California, man, some of these rules may not be for you. Some people coming from California's HOAs say Summerlin rules are actually reasonable. I don't know, I haven't talked about California HOAs with any of my California buddies, so I don't know how reasonable it is, but from what I understand, maybe like in Texas, they may be reasonable, because I think they like, they wear funny little toothbrush mustaches there. I ain't gonna say the word. Also, there are monthly fees and occasional special assessments that could be added to the cost of your budget. In short, Summerlin is not the Wild Wild West. It's a beautiful, regulated suburbia if you're okay with some trade-offs like structure and standards in exchange for curb appeal, amenities. It's all fine. But if you hate being told what to do, what you can't do with your property, the HOA aspect can be quite a con. Next con. It don't matter where you live at, but I gotta throw it in here. It's the summertime heat and the accompanying utility bills. I had someone leave a comment on a video I did not long ago about the weather here. It's like, yeah, it's all great except for 9 months out of the year when it's hot. No, it's only hot 4.5 months a year. So let me go ahead and dispel that. It's early May as I'm making this video. It's not super hot yet. So in a couple weeks it's going to be hot, but it's 4 to 4.5 months a year. But it will be hot. This is a Las Vegas reality that even Summerlin faces, and the summers are hot. We're talking many days over 105. When I say many days, it's actually going to be over 110. It's going to hit about 115. I've seen it hit 118. And I've been to the deserts of Saudi Arabia. In peak summer, it gets hot. So now the good news is Summerlin is at a slightly higher elevation. It's about 3,000 feet in some areas. So usually it's just a couple of degrees cooler, just a couple, than the Strip or the airport, but you're still going to feel the heat. It's a dry heat. Yeah, I'm sorry. You know what I was trying to say. From June through August, really about late May through early September. That means higher than average AC costs, so be prepared for air conditioning bills that could spike in the hottest months. And I've seen some larger homes pay thousands, but these are large homes and people who don't care, got money. Many Summerlin residents see summer power bills, $300 to $400. Good luck with them. Mine spike about $600 in the summer. But I got older air conditioners and a larger home, but but it is what it is. For single family homes, but if you got some of the townhomes or condos, it's going to be a little bit better. They do have those in Summerlin, by the way. Especially if you keep your house very cool. I keep mine very warm because I'm cheap and I don't want to use as Captain Payne or Chief Payne and House of Payne would say, use up my electricity. But the dry climate also means you'll be spending more time watering the landscape if you're allowed to, because they're making you tear up all the grass around here to make it look ugly and make it hotter. So most do opt for the desert-friendly plants. But on the flip side, winters are mild and lovely. You'll save on heating since it really dips below zero here. But still, for families used to coastal California weather, the intense summer heat can take some adjusting. Trust me, my first year or two, it took some adjusting. Quick hint. Tent. Go get tent. You'll learn tricks like outdoor activities early or late in the day and making liberal use of pools and splash pads. And perhaps investing in sunscreen for your windows. That's tent. It's manageable, and hey, no snow shoveling ever. Ever. That's why people from the Midwest move here. Ever. But definitely, it's a fact to consider. The next con. There's only one place in town that this con doesn't really apply to. So every place else, you're going to have to deal with this one too. It's a car-dependent town, and you got some commute times. But from what I hear from the Californians, they're like, oh, this is nothing. Okay, great. Summerlin is a sprawling suburban area, and public transportation is limited. This is a car-dependent community. Almost everyone drives to get around. If you're used to public transit, say the Bay Area, LA, San Diego, especially them nice little trolleys they got, we don't have that. Vegas is you either drive or share a ride, use the Uber, the Lyft, any of that stuff. RTC bus, that's our bus system here. It has routes. They go places. But it's not convenient for daily life for most people. I've taken the bus to the games, to the hockey matches, because it's more convenient then. Other than that, no. So you will need a car for most errands, and like taking the kids to school and everything else, getting groceries. Traffic within Summerlin is generally light. But if you work across town, you'll want to plan your commute. Driving to the Strip or downtown Vegas from Summerlin takes about, 20 or 25 minutes with no traffic. It's about anywhere from 12 to 15 miles according to where in Summerlin you're at. During rush hour, that can stretch to 30 to 40 minutes. Goodness help you if there's doing some kind of just pop-up construction. They just keep building around here. Main highways, which is like the 215 Beltway and the Summerlin Parkway, help, but bottlenecks do occur. Also, Summerlin is on the far west side of the metro area, if you have to commute to, say, Henderson in the southeast. I would almost say you should have moved to Henderson, but most residents don't seem to mind the drive to Central Vegas for a night out, especially if you come home to the peace and quiet of Summerlin. But if you imagine popping over to the Strip daily, knowing that realistically you won't do that often, many locals joke about, once you live in Summerlin, you visit the Strip only when friends are in town. Yeah, that's not a joke. You ain't going to the Strip. I think I went to the Strip the first couple of times, like when we moved here. And then when people came to town, like my wife's sister came to town last week, on her last night, they went to the Strip. Yeah, you just don't go to the Strip. Although right now going to the Strip is kind of cool because none of the Canadians are coming. They were the number one visitors we actually had other than Californians. It was a great drive down the Strip. It was like, wow, I'm driving down the Strip. It was actually pretty pleasant. But it's frightening that the Canadians are not here. That's another thing. Car maintenance is another small consideration. The heat is going to be tough on your vehicle. Batteries only last about 2 to 3 years here, so if you're used to your battery lasting 4 and 5 years. Also, set your budget for your tires. They're only going to last 2 or 3 years. So that 80,000 mile warranty from Costco, man, they're already going to discount. They're going to go like, nah, you're in Vegas. They're going to just write that off. They ain't even going to give you that 80,000 mile warranty. Bump that. They're going to find a way to not pay that. Okay? I'm just going to tell you. Now, if you're looking at new construction and the trade-offs on that, no, Summerlin is still growing. We still had a lot of new construction neighborhoods. If you're eyeing a brand new home, keep in mind a couple of things. First, construction timelines. Building a new home here, if it's not a spec build, can be 6+ months. And if it's with a luxury build like Toll Brothers, it's going to be about a year. And materials and labor shortages. Right now, you know that some of the labor that we have is being forced to leave the country. I don't want to go deep into it, but that may cause some issues. So many families may be opting for move-in ready homes or resales to avoid that wait, which can be an added expense. New homes come with just the dirt in the backyard, so you're gonna have to, worry about getting that landscaped. And some of the landscapers may be leaving the country soon. We'll see, because most of them are from other countries, but no, we don't want to discuss that. Adding pools and patios and stuff, need to do a separate video on that, because I always have people, when I help them buy a new home, they always go, can we just add all this other stuff into it? No, you cannot, but that's another story. Summerlin has smaller lot sizes. The newer Summerlin villages sometimes have homes that are close together, okay? And yard space is more compact than the older parts of Summerlin. So that's some of the benefits of going to the older parts of Summerlin and other parts of town. Land is at a premium in the community, and that's through Vegas right now. You'll see most of the homes that are being built are on smaller and smaller lots. That's because, believe it or not, we're running out of space. Some buyers don't mind the lower maintenance of the smaller yards, especially since you can't have grass anymore. You can't actually have grass anymore. If you want a big lawn and lots of privacy, you may want to consider an older home or another part of the city. And when you're going for these new construction homes, it's going to be a lot of noise because it's progress. They're going to continue to build until they're done. Then they may build the next community next door. As you can see, most of Summerlin's cons are on the flip side of the pros: higher costs, 4, higher quality, rules for maintaining that nice quality of life, heat in exchange for no snow, no ice. Oh yeah, no tornadoes, no hurricanes, no earthquakes. Wow, great weather, except for the heat. And driving, but it's according to where you're from. If you're from California, this is not a drive. This is not traffic. But, for some of us, driving an hour is inconvenience. For many families, these cons are worth it, but it's important for you to know them as you weigh your decision. All right, now that you consider the general pros and cons, you might be wondering, what are the specific neighborhoods in Summerlin that you should know about, and what's new on the market for 2025? Great question. Let's explore some of Summerlin's hottest neighborhoods.